Hi everyone, it's Jeremy Clark from CH Financial, and I'm joined here today by not the president James Buchanan, but the owner of Buchanan's Restaurant, second generation owner, someone I've known since you were a kid, and I was maybe less of a kid, but still a little younger than today. And we're here in your beautiful establishment, which was started by your parents how many years ago now?
Well, thanks again for having me, Jeremy.
Sure.
So, 1988, so yeah, we just rarely missed our 33rd anniversary thanks to the most recent lockdown, but 33 years, been on the same corner, family owned and operated place. There's obviously not too many left in the city, so it's nice to have a little bit of a legacy here. You're probably as much of a legacy around here as I am, but...
Well, we're neighbors, right? So our office is over there, you're here. Now, when your parents started this restaurant, how old were you?
Well, we just...
Or you were negative age?
No, I was still around. I was still around. My father started in '88 because he'd been working for a restaurant group in the UK called My Kind of Town, and they were making... He was in charge of this kind of umbrella of 5 restaurants, making a crazy amount of money because he brought like American style dining to the UK. So like UK in the early 80s, there was like fancy hotel dining, sitting at the Savoy or nice hotel dining, or you went to a pub and you got a meat pie and you went up and or you ordered at the bar. Like there was no kind of in between. So he opened this place called Henry J. Beams, and it was full like Americana, Route 66 signs on the wall and Statue of Liberties, and they served like fries and milkshakes and spaghetti and meatballs, and it was like gangbusters. It went over like a house on fire because people in England were blown away, like, oh, a waitress will come to your table and she'll just take your order and then bring you food. It's like, it's crazy. So it went great. He was running that for years, and it was like, obviously, he said he enjoyed it and had a lot of fun. I was born over there at the time, but it was time to open something on his own rather than absolutely killing it for a restaurant group and doing it for someone else. So
so they came here, they started it.
They started here, my mom convinced them to move to Calgary, Alberta, be closer to her family. Just kind of a strange dynamic of anywhere you can go in the world, choose Calgary, but they came back in 1988, right at the Olympic year. The city was vibrant, it was growing downtown, this like exact same location. A real quiet corner of downtown. There was not much going on in Northwest Calgary. Prince Island Park's here, but Eau Claire hadn't been developed. There was not really much of a neighborhood here. And this became kind of like the neighborhood spot, and here it has remained for that long.
And you were lucky enough to have things like Shell's headquarters was about a block away at the time. So I suspect in those early years, you had some really good, loyal patrons who kept this place afloat, even though there was good times initially.
For sure.
We had some really good loyal customers.
This was Shell, Husky, and Calgary Herald to come here and just drink whiskey and chain smoke, and it was just like good old boys, late 80s, early 90s.
Now we have to
whiskey bar.
We have to talk about the whiskey here. Now behind us, you have a fraction of your selection. So how many kinds of whiskey do you have?
We've been shrinking a little bit lately, but we have the largest whiskey selection for sale in Western Canada, probably top 2 or 3 in the country. But we were at our apex about 450 whiskeys, and due to some recent pandemic shrink downs, but we're still sitting at about 340 whiskeys. So enough to keep you occupied if you want to come in to have one.
Still amazing. And when did you take over for your parents? So you bought them out a little while ago, but how many years ago was that?
It's been like a little bit of a project. So my folks we started the buyout in 2012. So it's been 9 years now that I've been running this place, which doesn't really feel like it, but moving on that way. They slowly kind of stepped back from the business because they put in 25 years in this place, 20 years. This restaurant's lived its life 5 times over, so they've definitely put in their work. They retired. They're still involved in a very small degree as big oversight stuff. They come back and just glad hand with everybody and shake hands and make me buy them dinner, which is fair enough.
That's like my role at Arby's.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what you want to do here. So they are still involved for some of the big picture stuff, and other than that, it's great when they're back in town visiting. But for the most part, I'm just here to kind of make them proud, keep a family legacy going, and kind of try to keep emulating what they did to make this place so successful for so long.
And you talked earlier about all the kinds of whiskey you have here. So if you were going to say to those watching, in addition to the whiskey, why should they come here? What are the top 2 or 3 things that would draw them to a place like Buchanan's if they haven't been here before?
Yeah, fair enough. I guess besides myself and having this, get to meet the owner at the front door every day. Honestly, it's a real restaurant, and I genuinely believe there's few of those left. There's so few independent, family-run, owner-operated restaurants left. If you were to take kind of the top 25 restaurants that most people would name off their head in Calgary, 23 of them are owned by 3 restaurant companies. There's very few independent, owner-operated restaurants left, and I think that has a bit of cachet to it, and you're coming in to a real restaurant where the people behind the scenes have a ton of passion, and there's no I don't have a board of directors. I don't have a food and
yeah.
bev manager. I don't have an investor group. Like, it's me. It's just me here. When you want to come and give me some honest feedback or tell me you enjoyed it, like means the world. And I love people coming in to get a taste of that. And
which I've been doing for 27 years, and you still keep having me back.
yeah, so we're
that's good.
Allowing the riffraff.
That's right. That's right. Now, last question for you on this segment here. What are your top 2 or 3 favorite dishes on the menu here? Because you guys are known for your burgers, but there's lots of other stuff on this menu that's amazing.
Yeah, we're a classically styled West Coast chop house. That was the theme of this place. Serve Alberta beef. We get fresh fish in every day. I'm a huge fan of the salmon here because, again, we get fresh salmon in every single day. We change the presentation daily. I'm here all the time, so it's nice to have that differentiation. The burger's untouchable. I mean, if we kind of took everything else off the menu and just sold the hamburger, I still think we'd be a pretty busy restaurant. So that's the go-to. And if you're out celebrating, you got to have an oven roast rack of lamb, Pinot Noir jus, panko crusted. It's fabulous. And it's nice to come to a classic chop house and have a big decadent dish like a porterhouse or a rack of lamb.
And you also have some great things like salads or some really awesome pasta dishes on the menu. And even me, who's probably had dinner over 1,000 times, I'm always pleased. There's a couple new things on the menu. Everything is just awesome. So I'll be coming back hopefully for another few decades, as will our office.
We'll still have you, of course.
So James, thank you. So James Buchanan, Jeremy Clark at beautiful Buchanan's Chop House and Whiskey Bar in downtown Calgary.
Thanks for having me.